let's bring on board the management of Bajaj Electricals with us. We do have Anuj Poddar, the ED at Bajaj Electricals, joining in with us this afternoon to talk more about the numbers coming in. Thank you so much, Anuj, for joining in with us on Market Fatafat this afternoon. And let's dive right in and talk about the demand trends. Obviously, after 2 years of not having a good summer coming in, finally there is a good summer. We did see a lot of sales coming in on the fan side as well. But how is the performance now overall for the fan segment as well as in your consumer appliance segment as well? What is the demand outlook that is looking like right now?
So overall, as you mentioned, there has been a bounce back this year in Q1 compared to last 2 years when we had the lockdown. Consumer business on an overall basis has grown by about 58%. In that fans, particularly as you asked, that's been the strongest growth at about 65%. And the appliances have been about 46%. And this is, if you look at the entire quarter, we've seen very strong growth in April and May, and then there has been some dip in June. But that said, on an overall basis, this has been good growth for us, and we're happy to have had that. It's been one of the best summers in a very long time now.
Right. Good afternoon, Mr. Poddar. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. Let's talk about inflation, and that's on everyone's minds, be it consumer, be it companies. How have you been able to mitigate the rising costs, raw material costs, as well as have you undertaken price hikes? And if yes, by how much? And are you planning to take further price hikes as well?
So, Cheryl, I have some good news on that. But before I come to the good news, just to put the context, there has been unprecedented commodity cost increase right since about October, November 2020, right up to about May of this year, May 22. Since then, since June, we've been seeing a certain softening of the commodity prices, particularly most of the metals, steel, aluminum, copper, etc. In July, has seen substantial correction in these prices. We are back to about April, May, June 21 prices. So it's rolled back by about 12 to 14 months here. The only commodity that is yet slightly elevated is crude and crude-linked ABS and PP. Let's see where that goes. So I think while Q1 has not seen the benefit of the reduction in these costs, Q2 will start of that, and by Q3 we'll have full benefit given that we have some carry forward inventory. And given that we therefore have this cost reduction now coming into play, I don't see the need for further price hikes, at least in the near future.
Right, Mr. Poddar, surely not expecting price hikes is always a good thing coming in over there. But, obviously I do want to talk about one thing is, I'm going to combine a couple of questions in this one.
Sure.
One, obviously it's just that how is the trend coming in from the tier 2, tier 3 cities? And, you mentioned previously coming in your annual reports as well, that you aspire to become a leading FMEG business player and you are targeting a revenue of around 7,500 crores by 2025. So how are you looking at this trend shaping up? What will be the company's focus going forward now? How will you manage to get this number?
So that's a lot of questions. I could answer that for very long, but I'll try and keep that brief. The last 2-3 years, we've had a significant transformation playing out at Bajaj Electricals. We solved for many other leg issues. We've built in, structured way many strengths into our company. And next 2-3 years for us is really going to be about strong growth, and that's where that aspiration of 7,500 crores comes in. If you look at the last 3 years also, we've been growing at a fairly decent rate and increasing market share. But over the next 3 years, we intend to pick up that growth rate and therefore increase in market share across all the categories that we operate in. You mentioned about our aspiration to be a leading FMEG player. Just nuance that. I think we are already a leading FMEG player, but we basically want to cement or enhance our share to actually become a more stronger leading player in this sector. We're very confident about our strategy. We have multiple product launches planned over the next every quarter here on. We've seen that in the last couple of quarters. The back of product launches, along with revisiting of our brand strategy and go-to market, we're confident about our roadmap ahead of us.
All right. On that optimistic note, thank you. We leave it there, Mr. Poddar. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now to talk about the earnings for Bajaj Electricals, the quarter gone by and the way ahead. And the biggest takeaway being that they don't envisage further price hikes in their products. And that was Anuj Poddar, ED of Bajaj Electricals. The stock is trading higher by about 1% as we speak.